Welcome to the January 24th, 2023 presentation, updating you on the Blue Water Bridge proposed plaza expansion. The agenda for this meeting will provide an opportunity to hear information about our project team, the project's purpose and need, an overview of our proposed design, some information about the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA, and finally the future as we move forward towards completion of the project. Since the project was first envisioned in 2002, there have been a number of agencies who have been involved. In addition to the Michigan Department of Transportation, known as MDOT, there have been collaboration with the Federal Highway Administration, FHWA, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, the City of Port Huron, and various subject matter expert consultants. This project is being led by Carrie Warren, the MDOT project manager from the Blue Water Bridge, sometimes referred to as BWB. A highly experienced consultant team is being led by myself, Laura Ellsworth with AECOM, as a consultant project manager, and Jim Stankwitz, also of AECOM, as a deputy project manager, who is assisting me with the delivery of this presentation. To successfully deliver the project, many members of the team on both the MDOT and consultant side of the project maintain a significant amount of historical experience with the previous phases of the project. Our team is completely committed to doing the hard work of ascertaining how best to complete this project and execute the plan. In 2009, the purpose and need for the project was developed by a collaborative group that consisted of MDOT, the FHWA, CBP, and General Services Administration, also known as GSA, and other local, state, and federal officials. That purpose and need remains unchanged for this final phase of the project. The purpose of the project is to support the economies of Michigan, Canada, and the United States by providing safe, efficient, and secure movement of people and goods across the U.S.-Canadian border in Port Huron, as well as to support the mobility and security needs associated with national and civil defense. The need for the project consists of 12 items that encompass updating technology, security improvements, safety improvements to eliminate existing traffic weaves and pedestrian vehicle conflicts, accommodation of projected traffic growth, future facility needs, and minimization of the need to route commercial traffic to local roads. This is the final phase of a very large project where construction began in 2012 with the replacement of the Black River Bridge, associated reconstruction of I-94, I-69, and the construction of the Pine Grove Connector. The construction of the Pine Grove Connector thereby eliminated the previous need for local vehicular access coming from the freeway with a destination to downtown Port Huron, having to make multiple right turns along Hancock Street and backups often occurring onto the freeway ramp. Then in 2015, the I-94, I-69 interchange and bridges were reconstructed, and the new Port Huron Welcome Center was built on westbound I-94, I-69. The cost of construction of all those phases was nearly $173 million. This project has had a long history. In 2007, the draft environmental impact statement was completed with a preferred alternative. Then in 2009, the final environmental impact statement and record of decision were completed with a selected alternative and an engineering report. In 2013, the Blue Water Bridge Master Plan update was initiated by both the Blue Water Bridge Canada and Michigan Department of Transportation, with the idea of optimizing operations between the two countries. This was presented as the One Bridge Preferred Plaza Layout Summary. No environmental review was conducted, and this alternative was not moved forward. Starting last year, in 2022, the project began a reevaluation of the environmental impacts and a refinement of the 2009 selected alternative. Now we will describe the differences between the alternatives in more detail. This slide shows the 2007 City West alternative, which was identified as the preferred alternative. Several alternatives were considered, and this layout best met the project purpose and need. As you can see on the left side of the image, Pine Grove was realigned west of the plaza to address security concerns, which opened a large area for Customs and Border Protection operations. The team also evaluated options to move Pine Grove east and relocate the plaza off-site to where the rest area is located today. The City West was the preferred alternative and included the following enhancements, some of which were constructed as a 2012 project. It eliminated the double weave of the Blue Water Bridge between trucks and cars caused by the need for trucks to move to the left side of the plaza for processing. It provided a more direct route to Port Huron, as shown in the bottom left of the image. And it added capacity to the I-94 west of the plaza and eliminated a major weave across the Black River Bridge for Water Street traffic. Moving to the 2009 selected alternative, this layout was a refinement of the 2007 City West preferred alternative. Based on input received from Customs and Border Protection and the public, this layout was the selected alternative in the record of decision and was approved by the Federal Highway Administration. Due to Customs and Border Protection funding constraints, the plaza component of the project was placed on hold. However, MDOT moved forward with the I-94 freeway enhancements and Welcome Center, which were completed in 2012. These addressed several green sheet items from the environmental documents, included added lane capacity on I-94, separation of Canada traffic from local movements, upgraded interchanges at Lapeer and Water Street, a non-motorized path across the Black River, and the addition of the Pine Grove connector, which provided a much-needed, more direct route to Port Huron. This slide details the 2009 refined design over an existing aerial. Pine Grove is not relocated west of the plaza. The design provides for a reduced footprint, which significantly reduces the right-of-way needs north and east of the plaza. This design also improves safety and security, and the layout will permit the plaza expansion to be built in 3 packages or phases. To present more detail on the 2009 refined design is Jim Stankiewicz, who will further describe the current design's project elements and environmental review progress.
The National Environmental Policy Act, also known as NEPA, requires federal agencies to assess environmental impacts of their proposed projects. As stated previously, the plaza was part of the NEPA process that resulted in a Final Environmental Impact Statement, FEIS, and Record of Decision issued in 2009. 2009 FEIS evaluated the social, environmental, and economic effects of the project. Many aspects of the original project have been completed. One remaining portion of the project to be implemented is the actual expansion of the plaza. Under NEPA, a reevaluation is completed to consider changes in the project's design and laws and regulations since 2009, and then to determine whether the FEIS and Record of Decision are still valid or must be supplemented. Fast forward to today. The purpose and need of the original project to enhance security, improve operations, and safety still very much apply. The Blue Water Bridge has been diligently saving toll revenue and was awarded a $25 million grant for the project, which needs to be obligated in 2023. This design team has been hard at work reevaluating the 2009 selected alternative based on today's conditions, standards, and security needs. The current layout reduces the overall footprint of the plaza by keeping Pine Grove in its current location, which significantly decreases right-of-way needs north and east of the plaza. The pink boundary line shows the 2009 project limits. The yellow boundary line shows the 2022 refined project limits. There is no expansion beyond the 2009 environmentally cleared project limits. If we look at what was studied for the 2009 FEIS as depicted by the pink line on the map, the footprint of the plaza was quite large. That project study area was evaluated and considered as part of the NEPA process. In project lingo, we call it cleared. Based on that clearance, many properties were purchased by MDOT for the proposed project. As stated previously, there have been changes to the requirements for the plaza since 2009. We are currently reviewing a smaller footprint as shown by the yellow line on the map than what was cleared in 2009. This area is the focus of the reevaluation and is about 25% smaller than what was previously cleared. We are reevaluating the impacts of the revised plaza compared to what was identified as part of the 2009 FEIS and Record of Decision. While all environmental impacts are considered, a particular focus is on economic impacts due to changes to the project area, air quality because of changes in regulations, noise because of changes in MDOT noise policy since 2009, contaminated sites because conditions could have changed since 2009, and traffic associated with the revised plaza and local roadways because they are different than what was previously analyzed. We are also reviewing changes within the community and evaluating neighborhood impacts associated with the revised plaza. We are reviewing and revalidating the aesthetic design guidelines developed for the new plaza. As part of the decision-making process, MDOT and the FHWA will review public and stakeholder comments to evaluate community concerns. Ultimately, the FHWA, the lead federal agency for the project, will use the information gathered for the reevaluation to determine whether the 2009 Record of Decision remains valid for the revised plaza. This slide exhibits some of the enhancements made to the refined design based on close coordination with the plaza stakeholders and detailed engineering. To begin, the refined design is in a reduced footprint bounded by Scott Avenue, Pine Grove, and Hancock. The reduced footprint was made possible by relaxed CBP security concerns, allowing Pine Grove to remain in its existing location. This significantly reduces right-of-way needs north and east of the plaza and avoids impacts to several businesses and residents. More engineering was conducted to accommodate new or enhanced agency facilities, additional staff parking, and to address all potential vehicle paths within the plaza. Some of the additional items added to the plaza layout include an expanded USDA and FDA facility, an expanded outbound inspection area, canine accommodations, increased parking needs for employee shift changes and public access, and additional CBP security throughout the plaza. Looking at the outbound operations to Canada, the traffic would first stop at the toll booths on the left of the image, then proceed under a new bridge and access duty-free if desired, then proceed around the loop and over the bridge to approach CBP outbound inspection lanes. Introducing the loop separates the outbound facilities to improve traffic operations and safety. In the inbound direction to the U.S., all cars would be processed on the left side of the plaza and all trucks on the right side, which would eliminate the double weave and separate the traffic from what is experienced today on the Blue Water Bridge. In the middle of the plaza is the new passenger secondary inspection area, and to the north is the new dedicated secondary truck inspection area. In this slide, we focus on local road operational and safety enhancements. The refined design addresses the issue of duty-free being located north of the plaza. Currently, duty-free patrons are required to exit the freeway, make a series of left turns onto Pine Grove as shown with the red arrow. In addition, savvy drivers also use the local access ramp on Pine Grove to bypass the freeway plaza queue as shown with the blue arrow. As a result, traffic routinely backs up on Pine Grove. In the refined design, duty-free is relocated to the heart of the plaza so that patrons will have easy access simply by staying on the freeway to Canada. The local access ramp will be moved to the west of the plaza as shown with the yellow arrow to relieve congestion on Pine Grove. The image on the right shows a modified 10th Avenue and Pine Grove intersection, which separates the single skewed intersection into two T junctions. Separating 10th Avenue as shown is expected to significantly reduce the number and severity of crashes. In this slide, you can see the different plaza footprints. The light purple shape shows a 56-acre existing footprint. The pink shape shows a 109, 2009 selected alternative footprint. The dark purple shape shows an 82-acre 2022 refined design footprint. In this slide, you can see a 3D CAD bird's eye view model showing buildings in pink and bridges in yellow. The design team completed the base engineering of the different plaza components listed to the left to verify all aspects of the plaza design work together in a 3D environment. In this slide, you can see an example aesthetic enhancement along Scott Avenue based on the aesthetic design guide that was developed in 2009 from public input. The dashed blue line represents an enhanced sound wall that is proposed on the south side of the Pine Grove connector ramp. The green space of the sound wall will include a non-motorized path and will include other enhancements such as seating areas as shown in the center graphic. Here you can see a before and after rendering looking east along Scott Avenue. The left image shows the current view and the right image shows the future rendering. It is proposed to have a non-motorized path, bench area, and sound wall which will be between 16 to 20 feet tall. Here is a before and after view looking from 12th Avenue across Scott Avenue. The left image shows the current view and the right image shows the future rendering. From this perspective, the sound wall would block the view of the majority of the plaza and traffic. Here is a before and after view at Scott Avenue and 11th Avenue, which shows the non-motorized path connecting a local sidewalk. The left image shows the current view and the right image shows the future rendering. In the distance, you can see a drainage detention basin, which will be protected by a fence. This is a before and after view looking north at the proposed plaza from 15th Avenue and Elmwood Street. The left image shows the current view and the right image shows the future rendering. Sound wall is proposed along the west edge of the freeway and the M25 connector between the Black River Bridge and Hancock Street. Here is a before and after view looking south along Pine Grove toward the plaza. The left image shows the current view and the right image shows the future rendering. Note the new passenger secondary canopy over Pine Grove.
Here is what to expect over the next few years as we move towards completion of the final phase of the project. We have recently finalized the Customs and Border Protection feasibility study and expect to complete the environmental review, 30% design, and utility coordination in 2023. Subsequently, Phase 1 construction will begin on the south side of the proposed plaza. This will include the relocated tolling operation, MDOT administration building and equipment storage, and relocated Duty Free America store, Customs and Border Protection outbound inspection, and other associated items. Phase 2 will complete the north side, which is designated for CBP commercial secondary inspection. The addition of this facility will allow all custom and border protection activities to be consolidated on site. Currently, approximately 1,000 commercial trucks per year are routed to Marysville for inspection through local streets. Finally, Phase 3 will be completed the project by addressing the center area, which is much of the existing elevated plaza. Existing buildings will be demolished and replaced, thus providing much needed additional primary inspection lanes for Customs and Border Protection and a safer, more streamlined operation. A canopy will be added over Pine Grove and the existing tunnel will be rehabilitated, as well as other related work. This slide visually shows the phases described on the prior slide. The blue color is the 2023 early works. Construction of this early works package will assist in minimizing the traffic interruptions and construction impacts to the adjacent properties. The light green color, as described previously, will contain the MDOT Blue Water Bridge building, duty-free, and CBP outbound inspection buildings, commonly referred to as the Southern Project or Package 1. While the pink color or Northern Project will maintain primarily CBP operations and is considered the second package. The final phase is the yellow color. At the center of the complex is the most complicated with the construction staging and complex building architecture, with the construction of the CBP main building and primary inspection lanes, and is considered Package 3. On behalf of the Blue Water Bridge and MDOT, we truly appreciate your time in listening to this presentation. Just outside this room, there are various stations to visit, review, and ask questions. The stations are a project introduction and update station, a traffic and safety station, an environmental review process station, a noise study station for further discussion and exhibits regarding the ongoing noise study, an aesthetic station, and a station to hear about the next steps. We strongly encourage you to sign in, as this will allow the team to continue communication with you for future meetings, and finally to fill out a comment card if you have any questions or comments that were not addressed during the presentation or at any of the stations. Finally, there are refreshments in the center of the room and seating in the room as well. Before we end the official presentation and answer any questions from the audience, we would like to follow up with the importance of the Blue Water Bridge as a critical port of entry to the United States of America, and to remind everyone that national security is a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year operation. Thank you again for listening to this presentation. There are individuals in the room that can answer questions, or you can proceed to the main meeting room, where the information stations and refreshments are located. We sincerely appreciate you coming, and thank you.